Welcome to the Dungeon Brew Coffee Tavern, where every cup tells a story, and every story starts with a sip. Join us on a journey of adventure, camaraderie, and of course, the finest brews, served hot and steeped in mystery. From dragons to ancient legends, we're brewing up more than just coffee. Today's tale begins in the heart of Dungeon Brew Coffee Tavern, where the scent of roasted beans mingles with whispers of ancient magic, and a simple craving for spice was about to spark something much bigger. Our fiery friend Nyved sought to add a little kick to the menu. But in a place where ingredients come from forgotten realms and pantry jars may hold more than peppercorns. Let's just say, some spices bite back. But before we dive into today's adventure, a quick word from our sponsor.
Welcome, adventurers, to the Dungeon Brew Coffee Tavern, where every cup is a quest, and every sip, a story. Start your day with the boldness of rogues rolling thunder, Guatemalan beans aged in whiskey barrels, delivering a brew as daring as a rogue's escapade. For those with a sweet tooth, Bard's-inspired hazelnut offers a harmonious fusion of rich hazelnut and decadent chocolate, reminiscent of a bard's sweet serenade. Not a coffee connoisseur? Our artisan teas, like the delicate moonlit jasmine or the comforting cider harvest, promise a journey through flavors both exotic and familiar. Craving something enchanting? Dreamspell chai awaits, blending bold spices into a potion that stirs both body and soul. Join the Dungeon Brew crew and wear your passion proudly with our exclusive gear. Embark on your flavor adventure today at dungeonbrewcoffee.com. Dungeon Brew Coffee. Brewing with initiative, rolling with life.
Now, grab your mug, settle in, and get ready for the next chapter in our brewing saga. Episode 24, Nyved's Spicy Summoning. In the early hours of a crisp morning, the Dungeon Brew Coffee Tavern pulsed gently with life. Steam curled from ceramic mugs, the scent of freshly ground beans drifted like a comfort spell, and soft footfalls echoed against worn wood and stone. Outside, mist clung to the crossroads like a secret. Inside, secrets were about to spill, straight from the spice rack.
This one's gonna have a hint of toasted oak, cinnamon, and just the right note of
burnt toast?
art. It's called flavor layering.
If you two are done inventing mistakes, I could use a pot of whatever doesn't taste like regret.
At the far end of the long prep table stood Nyved, baby dragon, spice enthusiast, culinary alchemist. His wings twitched with excitement as he rummaged through a satchel of ingredients with the enthusiasm of a bard spotting a buffet.
Habanero haze? Nope. Molten maple? Not today. Ooh. What's this one? Smells zesty. Perfect.
Where'd that come from? I don't recognize the label.
Must have rolled out from the pantry. Or fell from a higher shelf. Pantry keeps shifting anyway.
The infinite pantry offers many things. Not all of them edible.
Like that time Java tried to brew tea with ghost nettles.
We do not speak of the itching.
Unbothered, or perhaps too thrilled to notice, Nyved tapped a claw to the cork, popped it free, and dumped a small heap of glowing, ember-red spice into his simmering sauce pot. It hissed. The sauce bubbled. The air thickened with heat, and something else. Something older.
Ha! Smells like smoke and citrus? That's weirdly specific.
Is anyone else hot all of a sudden?
That's not heat from the stove. That's magic.
Nyved. Step back. Now!
But it was too late. The spice pot cracked. Flames erupted, not outward, but upward, spiraling into a twisting column of fire and smoke. The hearth roared in sympathy. Dishes clattered from the shelves as a windless heat burst through the tavern. From the center of the flame rose a towering figure, humanoid in shape, yet born entirely of flickering embers and lava-glow eyes. A voice like a furnace bellows.
Who dares awaken me with spice unworthy of flame?
Time paused. Forks froze midair. Even the coffee percolator stuttered. The tavern crew gawked at the towering djinn as molten veins pulsed along his arms, and his eyes scanned the room like twin blowtorches.
Remind me to put fireproof on our next project list.
Ah, that might have been me.
You summoned me with cursed spice, child of flame. You invoked the Ember Pact. Now, a challenge must be met.
The Djinn snapped his fingers. A ring of fire encircled the tavern's hearth. The lights dimmed, replaced by a simmering amber hue. Overhead, pots and pans floated, caught in an invisible current of culinary consequence.
A cook-off. One dish. Spiced with soul and seared with passion. Impress me, or this charming little tavern becomes my next bonfire.
Well, that escalated quickly.
Nyved, what was in that jar?
I don't know. I thought it was paprika.
With the tavern's very walls now holding their breath, the challenge was cast. Flames lit the ceiling, and an ancient culinary duel, half magic, half madness, was about to begin. And so, the morning brew was replaced, with the scent of impending disaster. The Fire Djinn's flames hissed softly around the perimeter of the tavern, licking the floorboards but never scorching them, as if savoring the moment before a feast. Time had not stopped, but it had definitely been put on simmer. The crew stood still, save for Nyved, whose wings were twitching like a panicked hummingbird.
You have until the last ember falls, or all you hold dear becomes smoke and soot.
Any chance we could settle this with arm wrestling instead?
Only if your biceps are made of cinnamon and your soul seared in garlic fire.
As the Djinn took a throne of flame near the hearth, legs crossed, arms folded, eyes burning, the team huddled behind the prep table.
I can't do this. I was just trying a new drizzle. This is a literal fire demon. What if I mess up? What if he hates it? What if I season it too lightly and he reduces us to...
Nyved. Breathe. Preferably not smoke.
This was no ordinary blend. It carried an ember of ancient summoning magic, an ember pact. A culinary curse bound to ego and flame.
Translation?
Someone once tried to outspice a god. That spice remembers. And now so does the Djinn.
Alright, so we can't outmuscle him, and we can't outsass him. That leaves one option: outcook him. With heart.
I'm not ready for this. I just experiment with stuff. I don't even measure my ingredients.
That's exactly why you are ready. You don't cook from a book, you cook from instinct. From joy.
And also occasionally panic. Which is fair.
They all nodded. The Djinn didn't just want flavor, he wanted feeling. Fire on the plate, yes, but also in the soul.
Then let's do this together. We'll help prep, you lead the dish.
Let us stoke your flame, little spice smith. Not just your heat, but your purpose.
The kitchen transformed. The floating pans began orbiting the prep station. The ingredients, hovering or stacked in precarious piles, shimmered with magical glow. The cook-off had begun. Nyved stood in the center, his scales flickering in rhythm with the kitchen's light. He held a bowl of root vegetables, parsnip, fire yam, and charred beet, ready for his dragon's ember glaze.
Okay, smoky sweet for the start, kick of heat in the middle, savory finish. Think like a flame. Bright, wild, but with structure.
Structure's overrated. Go wild, Nyved.
Go true.
With a flick of his tail and a puff of warm breath, Nyved caramelized the glaze to a perfect golden crackle. The spices danced, and the air shimmered with possibility. And then, he plated it.
This is my story. A little too hot. A little unpredictable. But I meant every part.
He stepped forward, claws trembling slightly, and presented the dish to the Djinn, dragon's ember glazed over root fire skewers. The tavern fell silent. Even the flames paused to smell.
Let's see what burns brightest.
And so, with the fire of his heart poured into every morsel, Nyved waited, as the last ember hovered, just above the floor. There are silences in life that ring louder than thunder. This was one of them. The Fire Djinn loomed over the steaming dish, dragon's ember glaze over root fire skewers, its scent rising in ribbons of smoke and cinnamon, ember and honeyed fire. His molten eyes narrowed. The tavern held its breath.
You dare present root vegetables to a creature forged in volcanoes and fury?
Oh boy. He's in critic mode?
Hush. Let the food speak before the fists do.
With 2 clawed fingers, the djinn lifted a skewer, examining it like a jeweler inspecting an ancient gem. The glaze caught the firelight and crackled softly, like embers remembering their tree. He took a bite. The tavern creaked. A hush fell so deep, even the flame under Java's reduction pan flickered nervously. And then, a sound. Low at first, like a rolling kettle, then rising. The djinn laughed. Not a cruel laugh. A surprised one.
This burns with intention. The sweetness, unexpected. The heat, builds, but doesn't betray. The bitterness, just enough to honor the pain behind the flavor.
He tastes the story.
You mean, you like it?
I am moved. Do you know how long it's been since a dish made me feel? Ages. And I've judged entire realms of culinary champions. This dish is not flawless, but it is fearless.
From the high beam above the hearth, the ember the djinn had summoned, his ticking clock of doom, finally touched the tavern floor and snuffed out like a candle.
You have met the ember-packed, little spice singer. And you have won.
Well, that's one way to test a new recipe.
I think we found our next menu item.
You just outcooked a demigod, Nyved. That earns you the big spoon.
I thought I was just playing with flavor. I didn't know it could matter this much.
Flame is creation. Flame is destruction. You gave it form with care. That is magic.
The Fire Djinn turned once more to the crew, his eyes softer now, less inferno, more hearth.
Should you ever wish to cook among the fire courts, present your name with spice and honor. You will be remembered.
As the last spark faded, warmth returned, not the dangerous heat of a curse, but the cozy simmer of a well-run kitchen. Nyved, still blinking, leaned on the prep counter, holding his ladle like a sword. Or a shield. Or maybe just pride.
Here. The new cooling cream cold brew. You've earned it.
Okay. That's good. Still spicy, but good.
And so, the tavern lived to cook another day, thanks to a baby dragon with fire in his heart and just enough chaos in his claws to summon a djinn. Evening fell with a golden haze across the Dungeon Brew Coffee Tavern, the earlier chaos now nothing more than a pleasant tale steeping in the rafters. The hearth crackled, not in threat, but in comfort. The air, though still tinged with spice and char, now held the scent of home, of healing, and of freshly roasted hope.
I'm still not convinced we shouldn't lock the pantry. Or at least label the May Summon Ancient Being shelf.
Where's the fun in that? I say we keep the surprises. Builds character.
Only if the surprises come with coffee and a waiver.
At the center table, still glowing faintly from magical residue, sat Nyved, head resting on one claw, eyes thoughtful as he slowly turned his new honorary ladle in his hands.
You walk stronger today, Spiceborn.
I wasn't ready. I messed up. I nearly got us all flambéed.
You feared your fire. But fire is not to be feared, it is to be known. And now? You know more.
He nodded. Not with arrogance, but understanding. That confidence didn't come from defeating the djinn. It came from standing in the heat and not backing down.
So, does this new dish of yours have a name? Or should I just scribble down root kaboom?
Nyved's emmer glaze. Served over root fire skewers. With a drizzle of apology.
Better name, the Firestarter platter.
Too aggressive. What about Flame Forged Feast?
The summoning special?
Call it no refunds.
Laughter bubbled through the tavern like a simmering stew. The fire no longer loomed, it danced.
Smells amazing in here. You folks still open?
A group of weary travelers stepped inside, their cloaks damp with journey, their eyes hungry for warmth and stories. They stopped, sniffed, and stared at the menu board, where one dish had been freshly scrawled in Nyved's slightly charred handwriting. Nyved's ember glaze, a dish forged in flame, served with a side of fate.
Welcome to Dungeon Brew. First round of ciders on us if you can handle the heat.
And the second's on you when you beg for something cold.
And so the tavern thrived, its flavors a little bolder, its team a little stronger, and its baby dragon chef a little more legendary. In a place where coffee and chaos brewed side by side, one thing had become clear. Sometimes the hottest fire is the one that awakens your true self. The fire is low, the mugs are empty, and tonight's tale has come to an end. But the journey is far from over. Thank you for gathering with us at Dungeon Brew Coffee Tavern, where adventure brews with every sip. Join us next time as new challenges arise, mysteries deepen, and the magic of the tavern unfolds. If you enjoyed this taste of adventure, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell so you never miss a new episode. We'll save a seat for you at the tavern. See you soon.